What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, and today's GameOverGreggy show is brought to you by Movement Watches. Kevin, hit it. I'm going to a wedding this weekend. I'm wearing my Movement watch. There, look at that's a good zoom, Kev. Good job. Let me tell you about Movement Watches, ladies and gentlemen. First off, they're a great holiday gift. Don't be silly. Movement Watches start at just $95 at a department store. You're looking at $400 to $500. Movement figured out that by getting rid of all the middlemen and selling online and getting rid of that retailer markup, they can get you the best possible price. They have classic design, quality construction, and stylized minimalism. There's over 500,000 watches sold in more than 160 countries. You can get $15 off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/Greggy. This watch has a really clean design. Honestly, I get talked about all the time. At the wedding, I think the bride might leave her man and come home with me. I'm just kidding, Jen. That won't happen. Anyways, go to movementwatches.com/Greggy. That's MVMTwatches.com/Greggy. Join the movement. Like a laser. Can you make a laser come out of it, Kev? So topic 2 comes
I was literally just texting
from
to say, split this in two.
patreon.com/kindafunny, where our good friend Aziz, of course, hit us up with a topic. He supported us for a month, got his topic on the air, and his topic is, how far can goodwill or bad will affect a future project? He says, e.g. movie, show, games. He has a bunch of examples, right? Inafune seems to have lost the goodwill he ever had with this year with the release of Mighty Number 9 and Recore. How will this affect his future projects? Then he says, because of Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, people are not excited and more pessimistic about the upcoming Wonder Woman Justice League movies. Parentheses, which is crazy, but understandable. How far do you think this will affect DC? And then he goes on to Marvel, and so now we're right in the same wheelhouse here. So that's and when it comes to popular opinion on the DC Cinematic Universe and me giving them rope and no, they're trying to be grounded. Batman v Superman's gonna play on that. You're allowed to laugh. You're allowed to smile.
I know.
I see you fighting it. But that was always my thing, right? Of you were disappointed in Man of Steel, fine. The trailers for Batman v Superman look like they're addressing that head on. That's an awesome thing. And then what I kept saying, right, is that Suicide Squad would be the most important movie in the DC Cinematic Universe because it would be the first one removed from Snyder, and for them to say, no, it's not Snyder being stupid. This is the universe you exist in,
right?
Where it's darker and it's real and that totally didn't work out. You know what I mean? The movie sucked on its own without Zack Snyder being at the helm of it, right? So I do feel that I worry that Wonder Woman, I think there's goodwill behind Wonder Woman that'll benefit it because not Snyder, everybody it seems like is like Wonder Woman was awesome in Batman v Superman. Mm-hmm. We liked her. We liked Gal. We want to see what she's going to do with the character. Okay, we'll go do that. I still think it's going to struggle a bit. And then I think Justice League is going to review. It's interesting because I do think that in a lot of ways, and not for Suicide Squad, but and I'm not even trying to play fucking internet commenter here. Stick with me, but I do think that DC's been behind the 8 ball from ever. There's been bad will behind them forever. Mm-hmm. You're just copying Marvel. You're late to the game. Why are you doing this way? So every time they come out, they are nickel and dime for everything they do wrong, and they do a lot wrong. Don't get me wrong, but these movies get put under the microscope and really fucking torn apart. Whereas I criticized Civil War, right? And it was like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm like, okay, sorry. You know what I mean? I think it's a good movie, fine. It just wasn't for me. But it's there is that dichotomy, and I think there is goodwill infused with that. I think Justice League has a chance to be better than the rest critically and received by the community because I think it's going to be what people always want, and that's hat in hand, you were right. It's going to be Zack Snyder and the cast. They're going to have to answer this question on every fucking interview they do from here until the Justice League 2 probably of, hey, we heard you loud and clear. You didn't like what we were doing. You didn't like this. We're making it lighter. We're putting humor in there. This is this is planned from ground zero that way rather than Suicide Squad where it was like, oh, fuck. There's a bad reaction there. Let's get some reshoots in there. Let's try to fix this movie and give people what they want, even though it's too late. I think them coming out and saying that and being like, we listened and we're working on it. And this is what I think people are going to go in there more inclined to give them a chance. Whereas I think Batman v Superman was, no, fuck you. Man of Steel was Man of Steel, and this is Batman v Superman, and it's going to be Batman v Superman. Suicide Squad's going to be Suicide Squad. Oh, fuck, it can't be do this. No, it's too late. You're too late on trying to build your universe. You're doing it too fast. You're too late on trying to put this humor in there. Don't do it. I think if they come out, this is their first chance to walk out and be like, all right, we've heard everything you've said. This is our answer. Let's go from here.
Yeah, I just don't think it's possible. I think,
and don't get me wrong, it very well might not be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the other side in terms of the goodwill, bad will thing. I just think that like they've fucked up so badly that in terms of will, that Justice League is dead on arrival in terms of people's thoughts. Everyone's going to go into that. And you're talking about the microscope. I feel like it's not even so much a microscope as much as just looking. Like making sure you have glasses on, like, because it's when you're talking about the Marvel movies, you get criticized because people go into the Marvel movies based on their track record of how good's this one going to be?
Yeah.
You know? Whereas people go into the DC movies, how bad's
is
this one going to be?
Yeah.
So it's totally just a different lens. So being critical of Civil War, people are going to be extra hard on you because you're going the other way.
Sure.
And like being positive about the
Interesting.
DC movies, you're facing the other thing
going against
there.
the crowd, going
And
against the crowd.
it's just hard because those movies are set up to be what they are, and I don't think that Zack Snyder or any of them are going to change this single thing. I don't think there's a hat in hand at all.
I mean, they already did with like that. I mean, like the long footage of Justice League was what came out a week and a half after that studio set visit. They brought a bunch of journalists to, and there they were saying that like, we want you to watch us film this Bruce Wally scene. We're trying.
But I mean, I think it's marketing.
Barry, sorry,
I think
Barry.
it's marketing less than actual. We're changing the movie. You know, instead of actually fixing the problems, they're just saying, "Hey, but look at this." You know, it's more of a distraction than an answer. And I just think that like there's at this point because they've spent so long building this universe, they're fucked. Like they're already down this path. You can't all of a sudden change things. Like we were talking about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Like it's been so long that him being the Wolverine that we need him to be is impossible. In the same way, it's like with Justice League. Well, now there's a whole bunch of characters that are going to be together. This is going to be Batman v Superman too. Like there's no way around that. No way.
Yeah.
And the question's going to be, is it better than Batman v Superman or not? It's not going to be, is this movie good? There's like very few people out there believe that this movie could be good. I think
that audiences hold grudges up until the point where you give them something really good. So if for any reason Batman, the Justice League was just by some miracle, I don't think it will be, but by some miracle fucking amazing, I think you would get every single person back on board on that train ASAP like that. I just don't think that you see time and time again people try things or they fail at these projects, and people love to hate, but you know what we love even more than that?
Redemption.
We love redemption. We love seeing that champ get knocked the fuck out and then train real hard and then fight again. And did he win? We don't know, right?
But we saw with the X-Men movies.
Exactly.
did,
That's
right?
a great point that I was thinking when you said that, of like how bad X3 was, and how I was like, fuck the X-Men movies. Not like I made posts and went out and picketed or something. But then First Class came around, and you're like, oh fuck.
But there's differences though, and the difference there is that was a reboot, that was a different set of directors, and that was after a significant amount of time.
Not a reboot.
But it was a reboot.
Kind of, yeah, but in their mind, they were still building into the same.
Right, Days of Future Past then rebooted
That
the
kind of
timeline.
reboot.
No. First Class was a reboot of X-Men. It's just it was still in the same timeline, but it was still a reboot of the franchise.
See, that's their problem right there, though, is they stupidly decided they were going to stick with the canon of the old one. They should have just completely rebooted it. But sorry, we're getting off tangent. Continue.
But I mean, I think that First Class, like that universe, was definitely a reboot of the X-Men franchise. And yeah, it had nods here and there to the other stuff, but it wasn't until Days of Future Past that they're like, cool, we can make this work in parallel universes because that's what comics do. And we're at a point where movie-going audiences can understand multiple timelines. And like, this is Marvel 616, this is Marvel whatever the hell.
As a casual fan, I didn't understand that.
The X-Men
I thought
universes?
Days of Future Past was a prequel to X-Men, the Bryan Singer movies, and so I went through, and then when we got to Days of Future Past,
No,
where
it is.
It is. He's just saying it's sort of they're taking some liberties with it, and they're trying to reboot it. Kind of, it's a reboot, not in the most literal sense, but in a spiritual. We're trying to kind of
you could have watched
make
First
amends
Class
for
and not know anything about the other movies and still be fine.
Sure.
Like,
Okay.
totally fine.
but it
And
still
it's-
does play into the canon of the other movies.
Yes,
is what
yeah,
Greg's saying.
yeah.
for
It's
sure.
still in the canon, but it's still a reboot. You know, and but in the Days of Future Past rebooted the timeline.
right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Where are we at? Agree to disagree. Yeah, that look on your face, like I'm still confused.
No, I got it. I just
Yeah.
don't understand what the original argument. It doesn't just go.
I don't
Doesn't
remember
matter.
either. Then
Yeah, I'm sorry. So continue. Go ahead.
Deadpool 2 is the next one, January 12th, 2018. Tim Miller left the project.
Here's an interesting one, right? This is gonna be a very, very, very interesting movie to keep your eye on, because if it fails, it's going to be fascinating, and people are going to point a lot of fingers at Ryan Reynolds and the producers of that movie.
Well, what definition of fail is what?
Critically failing.
Yeah.
It's going to do numbers no matter what. It's going to do business no matter what, because I think coming off of Deadpool, people are going to go, no matter what anyone says about it, they're going to go, they're going to flock to see it.
Do you think more than saw Deadpool 1?
Yeah.
More than? I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. Because think about all this. Like, think about how many people you've talked to that wouldn't have even thought to see Deadpool 1 in the theaters and are now
They watched it
fan because they watched it on
Yeah.
demand or
Yeah.
on HBO or wherever it's on. My wife included, where she was like, should I watch this Deadpool? My sister told me to see it. I'm like, yeah, you should watch it. It's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually liked it. Will she go see it in the theaters? No. That's a Tim and Greg movie.
Yeah.
According to her.
I like that.
Actually, she still says Mike P movie, but she means you guys.
That's
Because Mike P
hilarious.
lives in LA.
No, see, I think that it coming out in early 2018 is like perfect for it, because any later, I think it would have been too far out, and there's a chance that a lot of bad movies could happen that would cause people to be like, I don't know. But I think that that's a perfect time. Deadpool 2, I think, is still gonna
See,
kill.
that's what's interesting, and it goes back to the goodwill, badwill thing. Is I don't know how many. I don't think you could have enough bad superhero movies to do it, because I feel like bad superhero movies don't necessarily affect the universe or other superhero movies. They affect that franchise, and that's what I think is happening with Deadpool, where it's like, I love Deadpool. I've heard all my friends talk about Deadpool. Deadpool's coming back out. Hooray, hooray, hooray. We're going to go see it. We're going to go see it. And I think it's a goodwill thing of there's so much goodwill behind the name Deadpool as a movie. The director who left, I don't know his name and I don't know his work. I understand as a person who pays a little bit of attention to film that's going to change the tenor of the movie and all this different stuff. But having Ryan Reynolds and TJ Miller and all the same people back, I don't think you're going to lose as much. Now, of course, I'm the guy who, was like, oh, Spider-Man 3 sounds like a lot of shit's happening, but I love Sam Raimi. He'll fix, oh, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this, you get burned all the time.
Yeah, I think I'm talking more about just timing. If there was a lot of bad movies around it, like I think that it's kind of the video game argument we always make, where it's like early in the year, when games
has
come out,
it has room to breathe.
And I think that people would be like, oh, cool, Deadpool,
Yeah.
and like they won't even think of it necessarily as a superhero movie. Whereas if it were to come out at a time when there's an Avengers movie and another X-Men
And a
movie
Star Wars and all this
Justice
stuff.
League
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
this stuff, then I think Deadpool could kind of get the like, oh yeah, there's a Deadpool, I'll watch it later.
Gotcha.
Moving on, Black Panther.
Angela Bassett just joined the cast as the recording this today.
The thing with this movie is I feel like they just keep adding cast members
Yeah.
and they're not making a movie.
Put them all in a room. They'll
It's just
figure
like,
it out.
holy shit, like how many cast members are in this movie? Sounds like an amazing cast though. And
Who else is in it?
Directed by Ryan Coogler, the Creed director.
Oh, okay.
So it's like cool. And this is another one of those, like I would put this in the Doctor Strange, Ant-Man category
Go ahead and impress me.
of like, it's your game to fail, my friends.
Yep, exactly,
Like, come on.
exactly.
But I think they'll kill it.
The only thing I think that it has going against it, and this is the smallest of things, is that leaving Civil War, I wasn't like, man, Black Panther was awesome in that movie.
And you were alone in that thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
mean, I thought he was cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh man, I can't wait for the Black Panther movie, but
People are like that.
everyone else seems
It might
to
just be that I was so hung up on Spider-Man that I wanted Spider-Man so bad, and then I loved Ant-Man's contribution, and I loved Falcon and Bucky's interaction. Like there was so much going on that was so awesome, and I wanted to know more and give me another scene about that. This guy with his dad, then grieving about his dad, then in the suit, and me going, I don't understand his powers really. The suit's made of like fucking Captain America metal, but is he strong, super strong? Like what's his, okay, and he's got a cave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, all right, like, but it's the same thing of like, I didn't give two flying fucks about Doctor Strange before this. I thought he was a stuffy old guy. It turns out he's awesome, at least in this movie. So why not? You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing of, go in there and make what you got to make with.
I'm stoked about it. I predict Nick's going to love this movie. Black Panther.
Black Panther?
I really think he's going to love it.
Okay.
The Flash then, March 16th, 2018.
The Flash is one of the movies I could see disappearing. You know what I mean?
How quick?
I'm gone in a flash. No, I feel like that one could fall off the radar. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, there's not a lot of concrete information on Batman. The Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman movie, right?
The Batman right now is Untitled Batman, tentative for March 2018, directed by
Ben
Affleck,
written by
starring
him.
Affleck.
And starring Joe DiMaggio.
And the thing with that is that date of March 2018 came from an interview they did where they said it was going to be, I think, like 8 months after Justice League or so.
Gotcha.
There's something that they did that got us to March.
And what's the Flash date right now? Because we're in 2018.
The Flash
already.
date right now is March 16th, 2018.
Yeah, I see. I think it's the thing we're talking about. I think everybody's gun shy right now based on Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to get Justice League out to see what people think of this Flash. And I think DC's very, like, after Suicide Squad, not bombing critically, I think everybody's like, what do we do? Hold on. Jeff Johns, you're in these meetings now. What are we doing?
Let's not bury the lead. Batman.
Exactly.
Just Batman.
Exactly. And that's the same thing. Remember too, that they were like, all right, we are making another standalone Superman movie. Like, that wasn't, they had this whole docket, right? Oh, fucking to 2020 with Green Lantern. And then finally, like, oh fuck, we'll do a Superman movie too. So it's like, all right, you thought everything's gonna go amazingly from the core. You'd be able to expand. The core is not stable. So let's drop the Flash. Let's drop Cyborg. Not drop these characters, like, never to have them again, but like push their movies back. Get the Superman and Batman movies done. Get Wonder Woman 2 out there. Get another Justice League. Maybe not a Wonder Woman 2, but Justice League.
Yeah, Ezra Miller, real interested in this guy. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Him. I was like, watching the movie, I was like, who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah, it took me a while too.
And I was like, oh, it's the Flash. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not sold.
Yeah.
I'm really not sold. I didn't like him too much in the trailer. Fantastic Beasts. I'm like,
he's a really good actor.
What's the movie I saw where he was having sex with an
saw him
older
in
lady?
Something else too. I can't remember what it was. I'll look it up. You guys keep talking.
Big Kev's on it. Looking it up.
Like, he keeps popping up in random things, and I'm like, is that the fucking Flash? That is the fucking.
He had long hair and he had sex with somebody.
What are we thinking?
But I remember he got a nosebleed. Oh, I've almost got it. I'm not gonna look at the screen. I want to say it's something like This Is 40 or no, Trainwreck. He was in Trainwreck, right?
Yes. He was the one where he was at his mom's house, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, he's 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah. What I appreciate from 2 fucking seconds of Ezra Miller's The Flash in that Justice League thing where he gets to talk is that he doesn't sound like Grant Gustin. He is clearly he seems like he's an indoor kid Flash, He's got all his Rick and Morty things playing and he's sitting there and he's socially awkward and he's very different. And I like that idea of a character of like, okay, cool, what's going to happen with that? But I don't know anything about it in terms of like, if that was just him being awkward with Bruce Wayne and Batman or if he's like that altogether. Because he gave me that Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Which would be
ADHD
interesting to see that with powers.
Yeah.
Like, why not? Yeah, okay.
And we've talked about this a million times with the Justice League trailer, but like for me, I loved it when he was just like, I'm joining you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, you're just stoked about this. But then he goes a little too far and
killed
does
it
the
with that
Sheldon
last
thing. And I'm
beat.
like, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. But
But that's the thing. Like, that's one of those things where I'm like, the trailer guys should have cut that out. They had a perfect beat where he was like, I'm in. He's like, really? He's like, yeah. That was perfect.
That was it.
It was so
Move on.
perfect. That one example is such a kind of shines a lot of light on where their heads are at with this whole thing. Is it just doesn't have the finesse that the Marvel films do. But that's why I'm interested to see what Jeff Johns does. Like, I'm sure he'll come in and be like, okay, let's start to just sculpt this thing toward something that we would consider in the animated realm being a success.
Yeah, I don't know. The Flash is going to be very interesting and see how it all plays. And it's another thing too of like goodwill, badwill kind of thing of like the Flash on TV is the best live action superhero show I've ever seen. It's nailing
Hands
it.
down.
It's consistently amazing. It's in season 3 right now. What?
Season 3 is not that great.
I mean, what are you talking about? Like from Flashpoint on?
Yeah.
I like that. Fine. I like the idea of that. I like seeing
That's a topic
Wally.
for another day then.
Okay, fine. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I whatever. We'll judge it when the season's over because season 1 was like some of the best television of all time for superheroes. But anyways, back to the point is that the Flash TV show and Grant Gustin's portrayal of Barry and Flash has ruined the Flash comic for me to where I try to read the Flash comic and I'm like, he doesn't look like Grant. Grant wouldn't do this. This isn't how
That's
I
great.
can't do it's great there, but like the problem is now I'm not alone in that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You're going to get a bunch of DC fans who step in and are like, that's not how, and I don't, based on what they're showing, the fact they're going so drastically different with this, the suit's different. Even when Jeff Johns talks about the powers, right? He doesn't talk about him being fast. He talks about him being able to manipulate like time and space. And that's really cool and interesting. And I want to see how they play with all that.
Yeah. No, I'm interested. I'm shocked that you think that they're going to maybe drop the Flash movie because I think Flash is definitely their after Wonder Woman, they're next in line, right?
But I think you got to get Batman and Superman.
And I
first.
agree, yeah, and especially looking at that timing, it's like I feel like Batman. I mean, in my opinion, they should just do Batman.
I
Just
mean,
focus
the
on
fact
Batman,
that,
and if other people make cameos, cool, but just make Batman movies.
Hey, who's the villain of the Flash?
Fucking Lord if I know.
Exactly, because they're they don't have an announced one. But Deathstroke, we know in Batman, and he's been cast, and here's this CG fucking thing of him from the Justice League set. I'm like, oh, okay. I wonder what you're putting your money into and where we're going with this.
Because if they drop Flash, like straight up drop Flash, everything after that's dropped. All the other guys are
Sure,
dropped.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't hold out hope for the Flash happening there. I don't hold out for Aquaman. I don't. Is Shazam still on there?
Yeah. So then moving on.
They would be dumb to not do Shazam because they have The Rock in it.
Do they though? Because that was something that got announced forever ago, and then I rarely ever hear about it. And once Flash wore the Black Adam shirt, and it's just like, okay, fine, but again, everything is fucked right now.
Yeah,
you have to fix everything. We can't move on.
The way to fix it is The Rock.
Yeah,
Here's the thing: if Marvel somehow swoops in and gets The Rock, that's just like the final. You're done. You're done, buddies. But we'll see. Avengers: Infinity War on May 4th, 2018. That's one of those ones that like it's gonna sneak up on us. I think that it's just like it's far out now.
They're doing Infinity 1 and 2, right?
They're renaming them.
It's now Avengers: Infinity War, and then the second one is currently Untitled Avengers movie.
So it'll be Infinity War 2.
Yeah,
or
just
whatever
under
the
different
Gauntlet or whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah.
But they are that is a 2-part story of the Infinity.
It was originally pitched that way, but it sounds like it's
okay,
but it's going to be not titled that though,
because there's no way they can do that justice in one movie.
Oh yeah.
They have to do those. That has to be split into 2, and it has to be epic.
I mean, it's at least how things are going now from what we know about it. I would imagine that phase 1 is the more getting the B tier guys together, the Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange and whatever, and all them kind of being there, and then for the second part, whatever the fuck it ends up being called, bring Captain America and Iron Man and Thor and all those guys.
Huh? You think that's how it goes?
Yeah,
I would think the first one
they
is
split the thing up.
I would think the first one is the like B tier Avengers, all these fucking assholes nobody cares about, and then bringing in, then you have to get Captain America and Iron Man to pair up, and then they look out and they realize they need, or even if they somehow get it, but get Guardians in there and get everybody else, Doctor Strange, all the people that are like on the outskirts, to be together, and then you cut it like right as Thanos shows up or whatever.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. There's a couple ways they can play it because there was multiple movies before then, so I don't know where things are gonna kind of shake out.
Yeah, we'll see how many of the, because I could easily see them going that first one as him getting the last Infinity Stone and like forming the gauntlet like halfway through, and then the rest of it's just like they get destroyed, and then the next movie is like bringing that plan back to go get him.
Oh my god, fuck yeah! I can't believe we're here.
I can't believe we're gonna see like.
But after this, then what? Then it is Marvel.
The sad thing is we're not gonna get some of those iconic shots. Like we're not gonna get the shot of Wolverine with the claws hanging in the fence and things like that because he just can't do it. But we're gonna get some other shit. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean those are the ones that gets exciting because I think it's what's exciting now is seeing everybody meet, because then it is again we get that Avengers moment that we all loved so much of these characters we knew from different things to come back together.
That's the first time we're getting that in a real grand way since Avengers. I mean, we've gotten Civil War to an extent, but even that was still introducing new characters. I think that Infinity War is going to be that like holy shit moment.
Yeah, they could have done a lot more with Civil War too. That could have been a 2-parter if they wanted to, but they did it justice.
Yeah. Then very quickly after that, July 6, 2018, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's fun.
Yeah. Interesting. That's cool that Wasp is in the title. So we'll see. I think that could be fun with the two of them. I liked them in Ant-Man. I think that this one has a potential to be better.
I hope she's not wearing the wig again. I just hope she's not wearing the wig again. I don't understand why they make them wear wigs. I'm like, just let her hair be whatever it is.
Then Untitled Fox movie, July 13th, 2018. Who knows? That's at the point that maybe that's long enough for it to be something, but at the same time, it's like I'm really interested. I'm just holding out that Marvel and Fox figure it out and just go, because otherwise, there's rumors of like, oh, they're gonna do another reboot of the Fox of X-Men, so it's a total new start without Hugh Jackman being Wolverine. It's the Dark Phoenix saga, but Jean Grey's still Sansa from Game of Thrones, and it's just like, don't do another fake ass reboot. Like,
yeah, start from scratch, go all the way down.
Yeah, with Marvel, or just don't.
Yeah,
for a while. Aquaman, July 27th, 2018, directed by James Wan, a Furious 7 fan.
See, I still think you're talking about like, behind Wonder Woman, Flash is the guy, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I would agree with that. I still think Jason Momoa could kill it in Justice League and be the awesome, like, holy shit. Now, I said that could be the thing with Batman v Superman before we knew it, right? Like, I was thinking he might have a Hulk-like moment or whatever.
You didn't like his moment in Batman v Superman? You
Oh,
didn't
again,
think it was enough?
You mean the moments
there
where
was
you stood at the
too much moment. There's too much moment in Batman v Superman.
Again, another one of those things. It's like, and this is the problem. They have too many fucking voices in the room. Because someone was like, God, why are we still on this shot?
Yeah.
And then some exec's like, well, we have to remind people there's an Aquaman movie coming up. And then the first guy one's like, they get it. They know what it is. It's not the whole thing.
Just do the eyes. Just do the Flash eyes. That's awesome.
The guy's like, I think we should make sure.
Anyways, I think he could be cool, and because people love Jason Momoa, and I feel like you guys are bigger
Do
in
they,
movies.
though?
Yeah, they
That's
do.
the thing.
Shut up.
They? Why do they love Jason Momoa?
Game of Thrones.
Right.
Khal
What
Drogo.
season? When's the last time we saw him do anything that was
and
fun?
that's a question I have of like I was about to say before I was rudely interrupted. Of you guys know more about movies and stuff than I do. Has he
apologize.
been in other stuff? Has he been doing stuff? No, that is weird.
Not really. He did.
That is weird.
He did. I think he did a bad Conan the Barbarian remake that tanked. I think that was him.
I do think that's true.
And then The Rock did a Hercules remake that looked a lot like that, and they both tanked. It didn't matter. Non sequitur. I just thought I'd call that out because they were pretty much the exact same movie.
Jason Momoa. Here we go. Oh, he's in Baywatch with The Rock.
That's fantastic.
Oh wait, no, that's he was on the Baywatch TV show. My apologies.
Oh, God.
Who is he on the Baywatch TV show?
He's probably just
There's a Baywatch TV show currently?
No.
there was.
I was about to lose my fucking
I
mind.
thought Jason Momoa was like on Baywatch, like the fucking knockoff Baywatch.
Baywatch
that's on,
City
like,
Nights or whatever it was.
2 p.m. on CBS.
That'd be amazing. That'd be probably a great move for his career at this point. No, I mean, the thing is, I'm not knocking Jason Momoa. I loved him as Khal Drogo, but he got really big really fast as that character.
Look at that lifeguard, huh? A young Jason Momoa there, huh?
That guy. Jesus Christ. Wow. I mean, I would fuck that guy is what I meant.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa.
All right.
We're open here.
Moving on. One that I'm fucking so excited for, animated Spider-Man movie, December 21st, 2018. That could be awesome.
Who's voicing it? Do we know?
No, we don't know. We don't know much about it. We know the producers, and it's the typical Marvel people.
So when you say animated, you mean like wide release animated?
Animated theatrical
on the level
release.
of theatrical Pixar movies,
Yes.
things like that. That's really cool.
That's gonna be put on the back shelf.
You think?
Yeah. Tom Holland's gonna come out and be awesome, and they're gonna let's keep.
Yeah, but he could be the voice then.
Why would they make an animated movie? Make it number 2. I'm with Kevin on this one.
Same
Because
reason
then
why
it
they
could
would
be
make a
totally
Lego
different.
Batman
And it's
movie.
Disney.
Yeah, but I mean, animated. It's Disney, sure, but I still think from when you say Spider-Man animated movie, I think the DC animated movie. I think direct to your console or your DVD shelf.
I hope it's not. I hope
No.
this is theatrical.
I'm sorry. No. Let me dial back. I'm in your world. You're correct. It's theatrical, and I'm saying as a typical movie-going person, I'm like, a Spider-Man movie they're putting in theaters. That's weird. I'm not gonna go see that. I'm not gonna see a cartoon in theaters. A Spider-Man cartoon that I could see on TV or on my DVDs.
You hating ass hater.
I am a hating ass hater. What are you gonna do about it? Who's gonna come at me?
Get
But you'll
Greg
still
Weisman.
see-
Who gonna come?
Make it Spectacular Spider-Man Season 3, but in a movie.
Greg
Holy
Weisman
fuck.
is very busy. He's working on Young Justice. He doesn't need you getting in his ear about anything else.
God bless him for that. No, but at the same token, you'd see Lego Batman. I think it'll be the same.
But again, that's totally different. Lego Batman isn't like we're trying to tell you a real Batman story.
Sure.
We're like, we're in the Lego universe and it's fun and
But
cute.
this could be
and
too, right? This could be a kid's version of like more like a Pixar film. It doesn't have to be like an intense.
But when's the last time I went and saw a Pixar film in theaters? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Well, you're a monster.
I am. You're right, everybody. I grew up. I want to see pussies when I go to the theater. Big old vaginas and dicks.
We don't
Yeah, that's porn. You're watching porn. They don't show those in theaters anymore.
We don't know what this is rated. Maybe if Deadpool is super well.
X. Yeah, it's like Mary Jane, get over here. Threesome?
Then
With Aunt May.
Yeah.
Captain
It's that MILF.
Marvel, March 8th, 2019, Brie Larson. Another one of those things where I would have had no fucking faith in this. But now Ant-Man and Doctor Strange and
I love Brie
Guardians,
Larson,
and I love
too.
Brie Larson. So
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
100%.
This could be
Fucking
awesome.
cool.
And that's what they're killing with it. It's like, all right, cool. This is why Marvel's so great. We nailed the foundation. Now we're building on it. And we've now proven with, you look back at all Ant-Man and now Doctor Strange, that we can do characters in Guardians of the Galaxy that you don't know or don't necessarily care about. And we're going to put people you do care about into those roles. And here we're going to have a fun movie.
And that, I think, is the question of going back to Colin's argument of when's the bottom fall out. I think it's when is a character going to be announced where his or her first movie is a failure. And we're looking at Black Panther. We're looking at Captain Marvel. Like, there's going to be opportunities for that to occur.
Sure.
But we'll see. Then Shazam, April 5th, 2019 with The Rock.
I wish, but no. I don't think that happens on that
I don't think it
timetable.
happens.
Again, they fucked this up. If they really, they could have solved all their problems if they would have understood where the problems were going to be, which everyone told them where they're going to be. Hey, we need humor, we need color, we need fun. All right, let's cast The Rock as Shazam. And he goes from being a 7-year-old boy to being someone on par with Superman who is The Rock. And have The Rock do the whole oh, gee, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, that fucking movie would be amazing and kill. Instead, he's Black Adam, and it's going to be like a super dark Captain Marvel.
But it boils down to economics, right? You can't, if you want to lock him in, you want to lock him in for 5 movies. You can't afford The Rock for that much. You got to have him in one movie as Black Adam, and then maybe come back again. Be amazing if he could be a main character and main staple. No, you give me the stiff bottom lip there. But I just feel like The Rock. That's why I think we'll have to see how The Rock's career goes. But he's like the biggest name in entertainment right now, by far. So, and he's not slowing down.
Yeah.
Like, that guy has his shit together. So
I
Kevin
predict
Hart
he runs
won't
for
let him.
president.
No, I know, right?
Yeah, no, me too.
Oh, I would vote for him too.
But I really think he's going to.
That would be fucking amazing. Amazing. But Kanye's going to beat him to it first.
Yeah,
That's
but The
topic for
Rock
another day.
will win.
Unless
The Rock would
Kanye
beat
stays in the
Kanye.
hospital.
Avengers sequel, May 3rd, 2019. That'll be the end of Phase 3 as we know it. Then Justice League sequel, June 14th, 2019. We'll see. I don't know. Like, that's the thing.
I think that'll
like,
be there.
You think?
And what year is it? Are we in?
2019 is where we're at now.
I think that doesn't move. I think you have to have just Wonder Woman, obviously, Justice League, the next Justice League, and I think it's where you move Flash and Aquaman and Shazam, and you figure out where the Batman is, and you figure out where Superman is, and then you figure out where the Batman 2 is because Batman kills.
Jumping ahead and jumping around a little bit just to close out DC, we got Justice League sequel June 14th, then Cyborg April 3rd,
Not
2020,
happening.
then Green Lantern Corp.
Green Lantern has a shot, I think.
July 24th, 2020.
Because there was a news article we did on Colin Moriarty Live yesterday that there's a key scene or whatever where a Green Lantern member is going to be somehow involved.
Yeah, in Justice
League, the next Justice League.
Then Suicide Squad 2,
No.
TBA. Dark Justice League, TBA. That's Constantine and all that.
Sure, but they're putting out animated film now. They dropped the fucking ball on that by taking away from Guillermo del Toro years ago. Like, that would have been, hey, let's do something really cool and different and
that would've
crazy.
been really
All right,
different.
go for it.
Then Harley Quinn solo movie / Birds of Prey movie.
See, I think the Harley Quinn solo movie will happen before Suicide Squad 2.
So that's the rest of
worst
DC
idea.
that we know of so far.
But it's her and Jared. I mean, it's Harley Quinn, whatever, but it's got him.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think
This is. I mean, we're still in the goodwill, badwill topic, and I think that's where it is. It's just like there's bad will behind DC. You can't give them the benefit of the doubt.
So the
Marvel
thing
gets all the benefit of the doubt.
with looking forward at all the DC shit we have, what would it take for DC to stop? In the same way that X-Men seems like they're about to stop.
I think it would have to be they stop making money. That's the big thing. It's that thing of this is a very similar argument, I would say, to the video game industry of, all right, critics don't like this, but there are fans that do, and they're buying the games and they're buying season passes. And so it doesn't matter how many times Colin will be like, don't buy a season pass. What are you doing? Wait until you see. I buy the season pass when I like a game, right? And it's the same thing with like, I know you're a comic book fan, obviously. And so don't get me wrong, Batman v Superman's far from perfect, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It was an issue I read. And like I said, when people wanted to fight me about it back in the day, because now I'm just beaten into submission. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this ever again, please. That Batman v Superman was better than dozens of comics I've read in the DC universe in the past year, let alone the hundreds of DC comics I've read throughout my life. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like there was nothing in there to salvage and enjoy. So I went and enjoyed it, and then I still enjoy Flash, and I still enjoy the comics, and I still enjoy all these different works of it. So it's like, as long as they're not making them, like, what would it take for them to stop? Like, they'd have to, either go so bland that there's nothing to enjoy, or go so crazy that Superman is tearing out hearts and shit. And you're like, what the fuck is this? This is not at all what this character is. Because even as Man of Steel, flawed in so many ways, I always talk about, the scene, spoilers for Man of Steel, where he kills Zod. And how people were so bent out of shape about it. And I left the theater bent out of shape about it too, because it was an unearned moment. I thought that scene was great in terms of like when he cracks it, just not like the effects in the fight, because there's a million problems with that. But when he cracks his neck and then has that moment and screams and Lois comes in and hugs, like that part was like, fuck, that was awesome. And they didn't earn this. They didn't make me care about Superman in this film to this point like this. They didn't make me care about Lois in this film to this point. They didn't make me care about Zod, and you know what I mean? But like out in a vacuum of what it is and knowing and inferring all this stuff, there's something there that I liked about it and I can take away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, because these movies are gonna keep making money, and I think that for me, I don't think they'll straight up stop, but I do think that there is a chance that soon, like sooner than later, and I think it could be real soon, they just go all in on Batman and Harley Quinn, and that's it. You know, like all the post Justice League, like Justice League's obviously happening, but after that, I don't know. I can see them just making, well, here's a Batman movie and here's a Joker movie. Like, we'll call it Harley Quinn, whatever, but you're just going to get those. And all these other characters that are now in the universe, they'll be here for this or whatever. Like, here's a Joker, here's a team up for a second. But like,
Wonder Woman has coffee with Batman to discuss what's happening in Gotham.
Exactly. But it's almost at a point of just like, why even try building all these things? Because they're not going to do as well as a Batman movie would. Yeah. And so if it is about the money, when do they just be like, all right, fine, we lost? In terms of building the universe, not in terms of money. They're making money.
I think a big tipping point for them will be Justice League. Like, once that movie comes out, they have a lot riding on that, because no matter what, they can. You're right. I mean, the problem is, what they should do is focus on those one-off movies and make them as good as humanly possible. What they're not doing is exactly that. What they really need to do is do what Marvel's doing, which is make every movie as good as humanly possible and have someone really overseeing the entire process to make sure the overarching story is something of sheer art and beauty. But yeah, I just don't. I think that it's going to be just a slow crawl toward that bottom line, that threshold over the next like 2 years, to the point where they finally just go, we got to just
2 years. I mean, the problem this is
call it 3 years then.
I would think at 5 because of the way the movie industry works. I feel like, and again, you know it better than I do, but I feel like in terms of what it is, it's such a train lumbering down the tracks that even when it is like, oh fuck, they didn't like Batman v Superman. Suicide Squad still fucked. Wonder Woman possibly fucked. Justice League, they've got to retool everything they're working on.
But that's why I'm saying, like, I look at like Justice League, when that they'll know by then how much of a success or not a success Wonder Woman was. They know that Suicide Squad was kind of a failure from the fans' perspective, even though it made money. Those movies were already in the works. All this stuff has already been in the works. So the question I have now is like, how much influence does Jeff Johns have over everything going forward from here? Like, when they brought him in, was he like, yo, let me see that script for Justice League right fucking now? Like, I don't care if we're still shooting. We have to nail this. We need to take a step back. And if they're giving him that luxury, I think he can really do it. But
or inevitably in 2018, when Disney buys DC and changes the entire game. That could happen at any moment. That could happen.
That would be insane.
Yeah,
that would be awesome though.
It would be fucking crazy. Finishing out the topic, just to go through the rest of the ones we haven't named yet. On the Marvel side, we got Untitled MCU movies on May 1st, 2020, July 10th, 2020, and November 6th, 2020, which is in line with what they've been doing, where there's been 2 or 3 in about that time of the year every year. Then Deadpool 3 is the last thing on the list, and it's TBA. We'll see if we get there.
Okay. Well, we'll check back in 3 years and see how we all did. Your phone case, man. Is that the texture of it? No, something's wrong with your phone. What's wrong?
Melting.
Is it all bubbly?
It's all melted.
That's the texture. It's leather.
Why is this texture isn't there like that? It used to be way nicer. Thank you, Kevin.
It's like worn it apart. It's just because it's
okay,
worn down.
cool. Okay, cool. Everybody be chill. Okay.
Be chill.